you have to have the trust of the athletes you're interviewing. In other words, if he says the sky's blue, don't say the sky's green tomorrow. Say the sky's blue. If you're honest with them, they'll be honest with you. I think that's the big thing I learned. I had a lot of friends in the media, but when I made my mistake, they went to the other side. Now, slowly but surely, they're coming back. You know, people have a tendency to go to the side that most people are talking about. You know, they don't want to be on the 70-30. They don't want to be in the 30%. They want to be in the 70%. You know, a lot of guys jump to conclusions early in a controversial situation. You know, like Ray Rice or like Adrian Peterson. You know, you can name, you know, the incidents that's happened the last 4 or 5 years. But you're better off just to lay back and let the facts come out and see who's right, who's wrong, who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth.
Those arches light up every night.
All right.
It's beautiful.
Since 1962, this antique sign has been standing in front of the McDonald's on Columbia Avenue. Soon it will be taken by an avid collector of McDonald's memorabilia.
So right now, Mike Fontaine is another McDonald's owner-operator who is a large collector, and he has a whole display of McDonald's memorabilia.
Well, the sign's going to be taken down. It's going to be packed away very carefully. It'll end up in my pole building, and I want McDonald's to help me build a world-class museum.
The first step is the whole process. The governor comes out with his budget proposal. That usually happens in February or March, typically in February of the year. So he'll have the opportunity to come out and present a budget to the General Assembly. And that will be his general appropriation for 2015-2016. Included in that will be a overall funding for K through 12 education. This past year, the budget that we adopted was a total about 10.6, nearly $10.7 billion that was appropriated for K through 12 public education.
We're going short and quick, hard. We're kind of tapering like swimming does, so they're at their peak level at the end of the year.
Just by practicing hard and being in here getting our head ready for it. I mean, it's new to both me and Jordan's.
Be ready. Good stance.
The season was an exciting season. I think anybody that saw our brand of basketball had to be pretty excited about how hard the team played, how together they played, and I think it was, along with being exciting, it was a lot of fun for the players.
Well, coming into the season, we have some goals to just play the best we can every game and be as competitive as we can be every time we take the field.
Of course, make the playoffs, win our section before the end of the regular season, and then make districts, and then hopefully make a run in the states.
Try to go far into districts and try to make the state playoffs.
We're hoping to finish strong and make a push, for hopefully district playoffs.
Indoor percussion is a relatively new activity over the last 20-25 years or so that allows our percussionists to receive year-round training and really be the stars of the show. This particular competition brought the best teams from hundreds of high schools from around the Atlantic coast together in Wildwood, New Jersey, and they're all competing for the title of Atlantic Coast champion, and they were good enough to be crowned the Atlantic Coast champion for the first time in our history.
So the sign's been evaluated over the years and it was doing fine. 3 years ago, we were put on notice that the sign was starting to deteriorate.
This McDonald's sign, one of only 5 left like it in the world, has a very rich history that started in the early 1960s.
Intermediate Center, East Petersburg Elementary School, and Farmdale were all built, started through the process.
So then, during that playoff run, there's the famous the famous fumble, if you will. I'm sorry to bring it up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you have the ball on the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. You're running up the middle. Gary Brackett pops the ball out. You see a Colts defensive back running the opposite way, and Ben Roethlisberger chasing him. What was going through your mind at that time?
You seem to remember more about this than I do. You know, it's been so long ago. No, I'm just joking. You know, that was one of those moments that your whole body tenses up because you see the football in the air, and I was going back and I knew I couldn't get it, and I saw the Colts player with the ball, but I was falling back, and then I started to get up, and there was guys running, so I couldn't see how the play had finished up. But I knew they had stopped him. The guy was on the ground, and the play was over. I later found out what Ben had done in order to stop the defender from scoring a touchdown, and it was a heroic play. It was an incredible play, and I'm forever indebted to Ben for that play.
So you talk about, after a long career, getting to finish out on top with such a great group of guys. Can you talk about the feeling of finally being on the top with your teammates?